fellow YouTubers, I give you your host. He's living proof. Being a geek is awesome. He has watched the YouTube video Awesome Pokemon nearly 200 times, and still counting. He is one of the founding members of the YouTubers 3. I give you the Mount Vernon Kid.
Dudes, what's up? Mount Vernon Kid here, coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Not bad, announcer guy. Not bad again. Keep up the good work. So, here I am once again to deliver the comic book reviews for you. So once again, for all my subscribers that have stayed around, thank you. Shout out goes out to my friend formerly known as Z/44. He changed his name again. He sometimes it's hard to remember passwords for YouTube, guys, and that's why I try to. My advice to people is stick with something that you remember very easily. And I know that because there are a lot of other friends of mine that have suffered from, basically forgetting their passwords. They had to change their YouTube account or something like that. But big ups to Z/Slasher, Zach the Thunder, I believe that's his name. I hope I'm not. So that's why I just called you YouTuber, formerly known as Z/44. And once again, even though I know I'm late, bro, but as I said before, happy belated birthday. Okay, so to kick it off, guys. Oh, sorry about that. To kick it off, we're gonna start it off with none other than we're gonna kick it off with something new this time. We're gonna kick it off with new to my poll list this time around, and believe it or not, yes, people, and I was shocked, but very entertained. And this is coming from somebody I'm not very much, Hawkeye, #1. Yeah, look at the name, people. Yeah, that says fraction and a jaw. Now, people are probably saying, hey, hey, you said, and you and your mentor said screw fraction, and you say this and that. Let me explain. First of all, I don't care about this guy's name. I do care about this guy. I support this guy. I support Clint. But I have to admit, I was very surprised at this. Very much. Basically, the concept of this book is basically showing what Clint does when he's not doing Avengers work. And that's cool. That's really cool. The dialogue was really good. The concept of this first issue was pretty good. It's standard. It wasn't really him going against superpowered villains or anything like that. It was dealing almost with real life, worldly matters. For example, the people that live in his building that it was more about, the landlord of that building tripled the rent. And he knew that, a lot of the tenants in his building couldn't handle that. So it was up to Hawkeye to figure out a way to deal with it. And so yeah, I really enjoyed this so far. Not bad for action. Yeah, I'm not bad. If my mentor was here, he'd probably say can't, fail for action. But I was very, very much impressed at what I got from this book. Very much. Very good indeed. Yeah, Hawkeye, #1. Okay, so now that we're in the first month of the first books of August, the lineup changes. Now, I'm sorry I did that first. That was a Marvel, but yeah. So we're gonna go this time around. The lineup will go independent, Marvel, and we'll end it on DC. So the two independent books come from Dynamite and The Shadow, #4. Garth Ennis, Aaron Campbell. That is a nice cover by Alex Ross. Yes, indeed, very much. Um, this issue was more about basically the villains of the book, Buffalo Wong and General Kondo. Basically trying to figure out who the Shadow really is. They're coming up with all these conclusions of who the Shadow is and what's his purpose and why he's doing this and everything like that. And it was really fun. But we also get to see a little bit more of Lamont Cranston, and they start to put through every time Lamont Cranston's around, the Shadow's around, and everything like this. And it gets a little bit nitty gritty at the end of the book, and it gives you quite a scare if you're a Shadow fan. But other than that, it's still good. You know, Garth, and it's still telling a very enticing story of the Shadow for the new era. You know, especially you're not really into the Shadow, and but you've heard of the Shadow. You know, he's a classic character. I do recommend jumping on board with the Shadow, but it was still good. All right, next up, David List and Colton Worley, The Spider, #4. This is the book that I am about to send to my mentor, Blue Goblin. Um, Actually, yeah, I'm going to send this to him because I think he would love this, along with another friend of mine. I'm going to send him. I've actually, the owner of my comic store, he owed me a few favors, so I called in a couple of favors, and I was like, could you give me the Shadow for 12 issues as a favor that I paid for him? I helped him out with his daughter, so it kind of he owes me a couple of favors, and he said, yeah, I'll put an extra copy of the Shadow now in your pull list. Just you tell me how many you need, and I'll pay for it myself. And that's big ups to him. So I said, you know what? If that's the case, then I know who to get these for. So since I only have a few people here on YouTube's personal address and things like that, because I'm really close with them, I decided to get it for my mentor, Blue Goblin, and another friend of mine. But in this issue, the Spider is still dealing with Anaput, the mastermind behind this terrible virus that seems to basically turn you into almost like zombie-like husk. Um, the Spider is dealing with a group of individuals that have absorbed this biochemical component, and they're in Citic Field, where the Mets play. Yeah, it takes place in New York, and he's pretty much keeping a lot of these zombie crazed people at bay, while keeping some of the other people who seem to not be affected by the chemical at bay, and he pretty much saved them. But lo and behold, Richard basically realized that's the Spider's real name. He realized that his father may be behind this, so he pretty much pays his father a visit. But it's still a cat and mouse game between Spider and Anaput, and she seems to be very much like his equal. She's pretty much his Professor Moriarty to the Spider being Sherlock Holmes. But it still has been really good. Once again, David List does a very good job, in my opinion. And Colton Worthy, his artwork just personifies this book so well. And I can't wait to send this out. I think I'll wait for the 5th issue, and then I'll send the first 5 to my mentor and my other friend, Dead Godzilla. Because I think they will really love this book. I really do. So, but if you want to pick up, getting more into independent, I do recommend this. All right. So we move on to the Marvel. I only had 4 Marvel books this week. I just like, I'll get the some of the other stuff like Iron Man has been really kind of not letting me down, but it's not a major priority for me now to read that book too much. Um, but bottom line, let's kick it off with Avengers versus X-Men round 9. Get a good look at that cover. That cover does personify what happens to Pete in this book. Um, Aaron's takes the realm in this, and Andy Kubert is the artwork artist in this. Um, let's put it like this: the Avengers are losing. They're getting hit right and left. Um, their people are getting hurt, injured, or they're getting captured. In this book, we lose Thor. The Rasputin siblings take out Thor, pretty much, and pretty much it's dire need for the Avengers. They need to rescue their cohorts. But also in the meantime, we also see some of the other X-Men watching Colossus and Magik put Thor into a volcano or so and things like that. And they're starting to realize now. A lot of the X-Men now are starting to realize they're getting corrupted. They're getting corrupted. And you got to remember that they are now a lot stronger now because Namor, his power is gone. But also we get an introduction of what has happened between Storm and the Black Panther. It is in this book that the High Council of the Panther clan has annulled T'Challa and Storm's marriage, so they're not married anymore. Now I find that kind of a cop-out because there was really no build-up to this. Now I knew there was going to be problems in a way with that because like she was in between trying to be queen and trying to be an X-Men. So I knew there was going to be something, but I thought she can balance that pretty well. But yeah, they annulled the marriage, and T'Challa basically told her, "Don't come back here anymore, Aurora." And in my mind, I was looking at T'Challa like, "You bastard! Like, yo, what's up, T? Like, yo, that's not right." And I felt for, I just wanted to hug Storm and like, it'll be all right. But yeah, it really was dire for the Avengers. They got a little help from Professor Xavier. He's in this book to get the rest of the Avengers out that were captured by the X-Men. And what happens? Who buys them time? Old Webhead here. He buys them time, and hey, hey, he he buys them time, and he buys them time, and sorry about that, guys. That was my brother. Um, he buys them time, and to get them out, and Spidey is fighting 2 Phoenix-powered X-Men, Colossus and Magik, and he is getting trounced. I'm talking punched, knocked out. You just literally feel for Spidey in this book. And the Spider-Man fan of me is just like, get up, Peter, get up, just get up, get up. And he's saying my mask is getting full of blood. He can't move. My arms are, and for some reason, Colossus seems to be fighting it. Like he's telling Spider, please stay down, stay down. And Peter's like, no, I can't do that. And it seems like Peter's on the offense. He doesn't want to do it. While Magik is more like, finish him, brother, and everything like that. And then while the Avengers get their people back to Kulon, Hope is like, where's Spider-Man? So the other Avengers go back in, Wolverine and a couple others, and you hear Wolverine, Spider-Man, where are you? And Spider-Man's like, I did good, Uncle Ben. And they canceled it. Basically, what it seems like, Spidey's words were able to reach Colossus and Magik, and they canceled each other out. So what does that mean now? Their power goes into the last 2 X-Men who have the Phoenix Force power. And I'm not even going to mention what the bitch does in this book. She does something in this that really just made you just like stupid, like you just want to smack Emma. But yeah, it was really, this cover suits the cover. The cover suits what happens to Peter. He was just seriously knocked out, and then at the end, I'm not even going to spoil the ending of what happens next. But yeah, this, with what, 3 more rounds left. How the Avengers now going to deal with two X-Men who are tripled powered by the Phoenix Force now than what they already had. And will Hope step up? And it seems like something is going to happen with Iron Fist. It seems like Iron Fist is also going to play a dire situation in this, which is pretty cool to me because, Danny, another one of my favorite Marvel heroes, good old Iron Fist. Just hope he doesn't, you know what. That's all I'm saying. Next up, oh my God, Daredevil number 16, Mark Waid. You get thumbs up, peace sign, whatever, salute, tip the hat. Keep up the good work. And okay, so basically the bottom. First off, we have Matt was rescued by the Avengers, his fellow Avengers from Latveria. But still, the individuals at Latveria had did something to his abilities, and it's up to Tony, Doctor Strange, and Hank Pym to find out. Hank Pym went inside Matt's brain, or inside of him, to figure out, and we find out there's nanotechnology inside of Matt, and Hank's in there dealing with that, while Tony and Doctor Strange keep him kind of secured and comatose so he doesn't wake up while Hank is inside of him, and things like that. Besides, you got to remember, Doctor Strange, no matter what, he's still a neurosurgeon. So that's why Tony brought him in. But in the meantime, afterwards, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much maybe the half of the book is right there. And, it was really good because Hank got to know Matt a little bit more. He's like, I now understand your world a little bit better, because he was, kind of at one point everything went black and Hank couldn't see and everything like that. So he kind of, and then Matt even said thank you when his abilities were back on track, But of course he said, when he was jumping out of the Avengers Tower, he's like, Hank, buddy, you're not alone. So he knows what he was like that. But it's really, this concept means a lot here. This cover suits it very much, because seems like Matt's enemies are playing with Matt now, and to the point where at one point Matt's father, Jack Murdoch's grave was, somebody robbed his grave. So Foggy here starts asking Matt, are you feeling no well? Tell me the truth, everything like that. All of a sudden, Foggy says, then what the hell? I thought you said you dealt with what the mole man did your father. And he's like, yeah, I did, everything. And then he's like, okay, then what the hell is this? And he pulls a box with Matt's father's ashes, his skull, and his boxing gloves out of Matt's desk, and is like, what the hell is this? What's going on? And basically, from this, yeah, Nelson and Murdoch attorney at law partnership is done because of this situation. Foggy has just really had it kind of up to here now. He called Matt. He said he's Matt's punching bag, like, because still people are still thinking that Matt is Daredevil and he's taking the brunt of it and everything like that. But Matt doesn't know what the hell's going on, and he tells Foggy, look, Foggy, I have enemies. So it's probably them messing with me, because I buried my father back in his grave. But Foggy, he feels that he's lying, and their friendship could be on the brink of an end. But this was really good, very good. Mr. Wade just he just threw us a curveball. Like, wow, after all these two have been through, it was like, wow, you threw us a curveball like that. But a good curveball, not a bad one. And I'm really interested to see where it goes from here. All right. So moving on to X Factor number 241. This is Breaking Point's day one. They say day one. They don't say part one. Peter David, no. Once again, I'm still in line for my mentor. No slouch. um, no problem. I'm sorry. No slouch. Basically, this deals with a lot of insight. First of all, it deals with the horrible date that Guido and Monette went on, and they're falling out. Jamie had just came back from Seattle, dealing with what happened with those superheroes in Seattle. But also we get an intake of what's been going on with the Deathlock, who was actually Steve Rogers, and Dormammu from that alternate world that Jamie was in. And that's pretty much what goes on in this book. I don't want to spoil too much for you, but a lot of things go on in this that puts a lot of just everything on the whole team as a whole. I mean, Teresa is still dealing with what went on with that real Banshee that she was dealing with. It gets really in depth, but I did love. There was some good dialogues in here. I loved. I'm forgetting the troll's name that works with them. I love what he called the Havoc. He was like, "Yo, Tron," and Havoc's like, "Tron," and then Jamie was like, "Dude, you don't get out much. Look at yourself. You look like something out of Tron." I loved with what um, uh, Lorna did to the Steve Rogers Deathlock. And then I love the dialogue with what Havoc said there. He's like, sometimes I have to remind myself that Lorna is the daughter of Magneto, and not to piss her off. I think it was something like that. And just remember, don't to be on her bad side sometimes. But yeah, there's some more outcome in this that I don't want to spoil, because it's still just been really good, very good indeed. And Peter David, still doing your thing, bro. Very good indeed. If you still sticking with X Factor, stick with it, because it looks like there's some big things on the horizon, and it's not all kosher. Okay, so that's all the Marvel I have. Move on, end it with DC. All right, and we got some returning books that I've been reading, but I just haven't been, reviewing a while, and of course the books that I have been reviewing. So first up, we're kicking off with none other than Jude, Mr. Wittick, and Marcus 2 on Batwing number 12, featuring the Justice League International. Yes. So David first enlisted the help of Nightwing to help him out, deal with the situation, but now he's involved his former teammates of the Justice League International, and I say former because I'll get into that later. Basically, Batwing is going in to deal with this individual known as, dang, what was his name again? Oh God, I'm sorry guys, I gotta look it up again. He was dealing with an individual known as, oh boy, what is his name? Oh, Lord Battle. This is him right here. This is what he looks like. That's him right there. The guy with the big hammer. And he has David's friend Matubo captured. Lord Battle killed his David's friend Matubo's family, and he goes in to deal with that. But along the way, he knows that he needs a little help because this guy is super strong. He's pretty much invulnerable. But not only that, Lord Battle brings in some individuals, his own team to help out, called uh, Bloodstorm. That's the name of the group, and they all are individuals that have some powers as well. But the battle, once they deal with his cohorts, it becomes more of to deal with Lord Battle. And it's the entire just JLI fighting this guy, and they are not really even making a dent in this guy until David realizes what he does is David basically takes Lord Battle, flies him away from his land, and then that's where everything we get to see Lord Battle's kind of his weakness, as you can see here. Everything starts to decay. He starts to get shrink. His powers start to. It's like he is become one with Mother Earth or the land, his land. So he needs to go back there. But in the end, you know, he promises Batwing. Spoiler alert, guys. He promises Batwing he won't do any more harm, but to stay on his land and things like that. Um, but there's still some more coming as well, between some more individuals that are coming that are trying to do bodily harm to the continent of Africa, and of course Batwing is going to be there to deal with that. But of course next month we got mostly the zero issues coming out, and since I am reading Batwing, the next issue for Batwing number 0, is just dealing with how he joined Batman Incorporated. That's all that is. But lo and behold, other than that, guys, it was still a good issue. Very good in my opinion. Out of Batman Inc., I will stick with Batwing because I'm really loving the character. I love David. Um, I'm really becoming a big fan of Batwing. And like I said, Marcus 2's artwork, it's very good. Even though I would prefer Ben Oliver's artwork, but in this issue, it meant better for him to have this. But it was good nonetheless. Very good. And I'm sorry I rambled on too much, guys, but I'm a fan of Batwing. I'm becoming a very good fan of him. Next up, Detective Comics number 12. Nuclear Nightmare. Tony Daniels, Richard Friend. I think that's how you say his name. Bottom line, this issue, Bruce is dealing with basically Mr. Toxic again. I know the name sounds corny, but yeah, he's dealing with them. But also his goal to kind of help free him, the person behind it. Now, does Bruce do it? You got to read it to find out. But I think everybody is Batman people. You know he finds a way. But that was pretty much what he was dealing with the first. And then there was another story in here that deals with Harvey Bullock and a rookie watching over. They're on the twilight shift and they're watching over, just talking about looking at the decayed skin, dead skin of the Joker, and just talking about it, and Harvey playing a trick on this rookie, basically putting a mic in the dead skins inside of it, and then having it laugh and trying to mess with her head. And this rookie comes back upstairs, and is like, Bullock, and she clocks him, bam, and it was like, you bastard, like, don't ever do that again. And he was like, you're a rookie, we do that, it's gonna happen. But she's like, you're gonna fit around here very well. But lo and behold, in the shadows, who do we see? Eyes. And basically, let's start the party off again. So yeah, to be continued. Joker comes back this October, and I'm really intrigued to see what he looks like without that skin on his face. But of course, once again, the Zero issues. This just goes on. They're gonna just do the, I guess, Batman's origin or something like this. His 52 origin. I don't know how much they're gonna change, but oh well. Next up, yeah. If I was doing a pick of the week, there would be two books in the pick of the week, and one of them is right here. Earth 2, number 4. James Robinson and Nicole Scott. Hawk Girl, yeah. I like Hawk Girl. She looks really cool. Earth 2 Hawk Girl. I like her look. But it's more of who they're facing. All right. I gave you a clue last time who that was, and everybody should have known. Solomon Grundy. Yeah. Makes his 52 debut in Earth 2, and he looks, I would say he looks menacing to me. He looks menacing. He looks dire, like something out of the Dark Ages. If I was to give it a kind of a look, if anybody's played Soul Calibur, think of Atrocity, Astaroth with, uh, who else I could say? I think Thulsa Doom or something like that. He looks just really menacing, in my opinion. Um, and he's just causing havoc all over the world. Like, everything dies around him. And we also get an introduction to the Atom or Atom Smasher in this book. And he looks interesting too. He works for the army. He's a military man. Um, and we also get to see more of Alan Scott in his full, Green Lantern look, and he's flying off to deal with Solomon Grundy. And Grundy's like, "Where is the Guardian of the Green? Come out, where I can face you," and everything like that. And a battle, basically, a great battle between Hawk Girl and Solomon Grundy and Flash. Jay Garrett basically finally he hears people call him the Flash, so he's like, the Flash. I like that, and because he's going around saving people, because Kendra, aka Hawk Girl, basically says, since you're not really a good of a fighter, then you play crowd control. Get the civilians out while I deal with them. And of course, Alan Scott comes on, and he's more like, no time for introductions. Let's deal with this miss. And then Atom Smasher comes, and you see him jump out of his plane, where his transport, and you just see him getting bigger, 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 and then wham! He just lands on top of Solomon Grundy, and he's like, done. But then we get a little bit in depth of what there's something between Atom Smasher and Kendra, Hawk Girl. But yeah, then there's something more. Then there's more between Atom Smasher and the rest of the gang. He's like, he says to them, "Gentlemen, on behalf of the world military army or something like that, you're under arrest." Like, to Alan and Jay. It was kind of interesting. But this was really good. The battle was really fun. I love that. I'm wondering how my Earth 2 counterpart of my mentor is going to think of this. I hope he's not such a dickhead about it like he sometimes is. Yeah, he's a dick sometimes. Um, but it was really good. But I want to see. Hey, you know what, Mr. Robinson, when you gonna bring more Michael Holt, man? Hey, where's Mr. T? He better be on this more in this book, man. Where's Mr. T? Where's my boy Michael Holt? Another one of my favorite DC characters. Where is he? You better bring him in, dude. That's not funny. Just having him being taken out by Terry Sloan, the original Mr. Terrific, and then we don't see him no more. What's up with that? No, I'm just messing with you. But no, it's good. It was good though. Earth 2. Very good. All right. Moving on to, a book that I haven't I it's not that I haven't been reading it. It's just like I said, I've been reading it, but I just you know. But anyway, yeah, Ollie's back. Green Arrow number 12. So to bring up everybody back up to speed, what's been going on with Ollie? Basically, his company has been taken over. He's nearly broke in a way. And Ollie realizes he knows the person that has pretty much taken over his company, took share of his company, and he needs to travel to that place again. So that person is in China. So he travels to China, kind of incognito, to ask can I have my company back? Businessman to businessman. And his China adventure doesn't go as planned too much. The individual that he goes to see wants Ollie's technology. He wants this technology, which is called Wolf technology. It's built into his suit, and he wants it. And Ollie's like, no, you're not getting that. No, you're not getting that, because all you want to do is probably you want to spy on other countries with it and everything like that. And that's pretty much where it gets dire need for that. And his adventure in China doesn't go as well, but it's not over yet. But this picked up from issue 11. Very much did. This one really picked up. I know a lot of people have been dropping Green Arrow, and because of the creative team and everything like that. But for me, I'm still riding this out, seeing where they're gonna take Ollie and things like that. Will he get his company back and everything like that? But the next issues, the Zero issues, pretty much just origins. That's all they are. We're just gonna see Ollie's origin now next. But yeah, this is actually pretty fun to me. To me, opinions will differ, but to me, it was pretty fun. All right, next up, that also kind of would have been another pick of the week for me. Yeah, Justice League International, JLI number 12. Honorable cover right there. Honorable cover. Them all around Red Guardian's grave. Very honorable. Dan Jurgens, Aaron Lepresky. Good stuff. All right, so basically, bottom line is the team has traveled to Russia to say their farewells, pay their respects to Red Guardian. And it looks like everything is going well. It was going well. Batman is there. At first, the book starts off with Batman. He's in the shadows, and he's talking, and he's talking about why it looked like it was going to just be something. We also get Lantern puts Maury and Ice on monitor so they can see. Fire has not come out of a coma, but she's doing well, as they say. Thank God, because I love Fire, and I thought they were going to just really kill her off. And all of a sudden, somebody just attacks them. Well, it doesn't really attack him. He comes out and is like, yeah, you guys are a bunch of marks and, hypocrites and stuff like that. You killed my brother. Lightweaver, his brother, comes after them, and they have to deal with it. It's Batman that takes him out. Just makes him look like a novice, pretty much. And in a manner of speaking, yeah, he should, because this guy, he seemed to have took his brother's powers, or he had it himself, but he didn't really know how to use them. So Batman was like, okay, this guy, if he was experienced with his powers, he would have killed me by now. So I can understand that a little bit more. But Guy and all of them were like, look, your brother killed our friend. He died this way, and he was a terrorist, everything like that. And his brother Malik, that Lightweaver's name was Malcolm or Malik. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm talking about brother. He's basically like, he's like, yeah, and he understands that, but also in the manner of speaking, it was more about, um, is this quits? Is this all? Is this the end of the Justice League International? Um, they have no finance. There's nothing backing them. They don't have no headquarters. And Booster's like, you know what? I think we ought to call it quits. But people like August Iron August General. I think I'm please help me guys if I'm saying it wrong. I am really coming to like this guy very much. He's like, you know what? No, you don't quit. We don't quit. We continue this. Everybody's backing him up. And then Batman says to him, I want you to see something. In Washington, D.C., he's making a new headquarters for them. They're going to be financially backed up. And however, Batman says, I'm not going to be around to help. He says, Gotham and the Justice League are enough for me. Batwing says basically he has too many duties of his own, so he's leaving. And I don't mind them two leaving. Those two definitely have a lot. Uh, Guy says, Guy's going to stick around. August General says, I will be honored to stay. OMAC has said basically, but look, I don't want to be this way. You promised that you'll help find a cure for me. And Batman says, look, I will do everything in my power to find a cure. No doubt about it. Godiva has said she'll stick around as well. But I don't know if Ice and Vixen they better stick around. But we get to see their new headquarters in the Justice League International annual book. But it basically at the end of the book it says not the end. And but still, I still look at this as bittersweet because this book is getting canceled. That's what you get, DC. Sorry, you get this. But we also know that another character I think is going to join the team because they even gave hints of it in his book. I think Blue Beetle is going to join the team as well. But yeah, this was very good. Very fun issue. Uh, this is a David Finch cover. Very, very good cover indeed. Very nice, honorable cover, as I said. And yeah, it was fun, very fun, very good to see that the team is not they're not disbanded, but they don't have a book to show off the team anymore. Next up, Red Lantern number 12. Madness of Aben Ab, Abedamus. I can't pronounce that guy's name. Uh, Peter Milligan kind of shows off who is responsible for trying to kill off the Red Lanterns, basically, and they have a big battle between them. Rancor, the human green Red Lantern, basically plays a big role in this, as well as we see kind of a blood bond between Belize and Fatality of the Star Sapphires, and her trying to wean Belize to join the Star Sapphires from the last issue when they were fighting. But it also is just a really good battle, and pretty much the bottom line, let me put it like this: it's the rebirth of the Red Lanterns. They get rebirthed and reborn and repowered and everything like that. So yeah, that just cut to the chase. The Red Lanterns aren't going anywhere. They're repowered, re-strengthened, back to normal. That's pretty much what it was. This was just a straight out brawl issue, pretty much, in my opinion. Next up, last book, and we're ended off on World's Finest, Huntress and Power Girl number 4. Who is this monster's connection? What is the monster's connection to Earth 2? Paul Levitz, George Perez. So the gang, the girls are still trying to figure out Haku, and is he connected to Earth 2? And we keep getting sequence back and forth, from present time and months when they first came into this Earth from Earth 2 and everything like that. I love the fact that in this issue, I think it was this issue or the last issue, but they're dealing with now a Haku who's super sized, and they're fighting him in the Tokyo Bay. This all takes place in Japan, and do the girls defeat Haku? Yeah, they do. But it takes a lot of ingenuity from both Helena and Karen to deal with a little help from the both armies of the American army and the, Japanese army as well. But it was a straightforward issue. It was straightforward. The first story arc was here to me. It was not bad. It was not overly good. It was here. And that's pretty much it. For their first villain, Haku was pretty much a real because a lot of questions, come up like, was he from Earth 2? How come he was able to hurt people like Karen, who was, radiation shouldn't hurt, someone of Kryptonian blood, and things like that. But yeah, it was very interesting indeed. And why didn't the radiation hurt, do something to Helena as well? Yeah. The next issue, of course, is another Zero issue. They're just going to find out, just like in Red Lanterns, they're going to do the origin of Atrocitus. In this, we're going to see the origin of, what, something that, how, while they were in Earth 2, how they became like such a tag team in a way. That's it. Yeah. So other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's books. You tell me what you picked up. And other than that, by the way, next week's issue will be late. I can tell you that right now. Something busy. I'm gonna be very busy over the weekend, I believe. Definitely work related. So my comic review will be probably late. It's gonna be late. So whatever episode this is, that episode and the following episode will be back to back pretty much. So I'll deliver next week's books and the following books as well. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, I will see you guys next week. As always, my slogan, guys. Peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. As always, guys, y'all take care.